Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're zeroing in on something many of you probably struggle with.
That feeling where you understand English, maybe perfectly,
Yeah, you can read it, watch movies.
but then speaking, it's like hitting a wall. The words just don't flow easily. It feels like, well, effort.
Exactly. And often the hidden culprit is that habit of translating everything in your head first, from your native language into English.
It's such a common sticking point.
Yeah.
Thinking in one language, then trying to perform this mental conversion before saying anything.
So that's our mission for this deep dive, equipping you with some real practical ways to stop translating and start, thinking directly in English.
Making speaking feel more automatic, more natural.
Which is really the key, isn't it? That shift in thinking. It's the foundation for becoming truly fluent.
Absolutely. It's step one. Everything else kind of builds on that.
Okay, let's get right into it then. Why exactly does translating slow you down so much? What's the actual issue there?
Well, think about it. English often structures sentences differently, right?
Mhm.
The way we phrase things, the idioms, even how we organize thoughts, it can be quite distinct from other languages.
So word for word just doesn't work.
Often it leads to sentences that sound, well, a bit weird, or maybe even grammatically incorrect. It's not just about swapping words.
Right. It's the whole structure.
And, crucially, that extra mental step, the translation process itself, it takes time.
Time you don't really have in a conversation.
Exactly. It slows you down significantly, makes you hesitate, it breaks the flow.
Okay, so it's clunky and slow.
Uh.
How do we break that habit? How do we actually train our brains to, bypass the native language?
We need some specific techniques, practical exercises you can actually do. It's about actively retraining your brain, little by little.
All right, I'm ready. What's technique number one? Where do we start?
Okay, the very first one is super simple, but surprisingly effective. It's name what you see.
Name what you see.
Yeah. Wherever you are right now, just look around.
Yeah.
And in your head, silently, start naming objects in English.
Like desk, laptop, mug, plant.
Precisely. Just single words. The goal is to create a direct link. Object, English word. No intermediate step.
Cutting out the middleman, the internal translator.
Exactly. Doing this regularly helps build that direct association. It makes the English word the first word that comes to mind for that object.
Okay, that feels doable. A good, simple starting point. What builds on that? What's technique two?
So once you're comfortable just naming things, the next step is describe what you see in simple sentences.
Ah, okay. Taking it up a notch.
Just slightly. Instead of just thinking chair, you think the chair is brown or the window is open.
Keeping it really simple, though.
Yes, definitely short, basic English descriptions. The book is on the table. The car is red.
The goal isn't complex sentences. It's just forming any simple thought directly in English about what's in front of you.
Exactly. Quick, natural formation of simple ideas in English. That's the focus here. Not perfect grammar, just direct thought.
Makes sense. So naming, then simple descriptions. What's technique three? Moving beyond just observing.
Technique three is think about your actions in English.
Okay, how does that work?
As you're doing things throughout the day, try to mentally narrate your actions using simple English.
So if I'm getting a drink,
Think, I'm getting water, or I am walking to the kitchen, I am typing an email.
like a running commentary in your head, but in English.
Right. It connects your physical actions directly to English phrasing. It trains your brain to process what you're doing in English, making it the default for those thoughts.
I can see how that starts to shift your internal monologue. Okay, technique four, getting a bit more interactive now.
Yes, technique four is answer simple questions instantly. This one requires you to actively fight the translation urge.
How so?
When someone asks you a simple, common question in English like, how are you, or what time is it, try to respond immediately.
Without thinking it through in my native language first.
Exactly. Resist translating the question. Resist translating your answer. Just respond.
So, how are you? Good, thanks. Or, not bad. Just instantly.
Precisely. Those quick, almost automatic responses are gold. They really help break the translation habit and make you sound much more natural. It trains that direct English access.
Okay, instant answers. And the fifth technique in this first batch.
Technique 5 is use English for daily thinking.
Meaning?
Actively choose English for your internal planning and lists, like your mental to-do list. Think it in English.
Need to buy milk. Call Sarah. Finish report like that.
Exactly. Or planning your day, meeting at 10 a.m., then lunch, then gym. Try to make English the language you use for these everyday mental tasks.
So you're consciously making English the operating system for your daily planning?
Yeah. Over time, it really helps solidify English as the brain's go-to language for more and more of your thoughts. It becomes the default.
Okay, those are 5 really solid, practical things anyone can start doing. Now, you mentioned the source material also talks about how native English speakers actually think and speak. How can understanding that help us?
Right, this is quite interesting. One key thing is that native English speakers often tend towards being concise. We often use shorter, more direct sentences.
Less formal, maybe?
Often, yes. Think about it in terms of stopping translation. You don't need to build these long, complex sentences in your head first. Aim for short and clear.
Yeah, the source had a great example. Instead of something super polite like, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, might I possibly ask for your assistance with this?
Which sounds very formal, maybe even a bit unnatural in many contexts.
A native speaker is way more likely to just say, can you help me with this?
Or even just, hey, need help, or give me a hand.
Much more direct.
It's about efficiency. So when you're practicing thinking in English, try aiming for that kind of natural, direct phrasing. Don't get bogged down in complexity.
That's a really helpful point. What about responses in conversation? That's another area where direct translation can sound a bit stiff, right?
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Native speakers often give quick replies that aren't even full sentences.
Yeah.
Think about, how was your day? A learner translating might construct, my day was quite productive, thank you.
Whereas a native speaker just goes,
Pretty good. Or busy. Or not bad, you. Short, quick, natural.
Right. It's okay not to use a full sentence every single time.
Absolutely. Practicing those quick, natural responses makes your English sound much more conversational, less like you're reading lines.
Okay. Now, something else learners often notice. Filler words. You know, the likes. What's the deal with those? Are they good? Bad?
Fillers. Actually, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
They're interesting.
This seems so common.
They are. And they serve a purpose. One big one is they buy you thinking time. They fill the silence, so it's not just awkward pauses.
Ah, okay. So they smooth things over.
Yeah, and they can also make speech sound less robotic, more, human and relaxed.
So instead of just a flat, I don't know, maybe.
You might hear, I'm not really sure. Or, well, actually, I don't think I know. It adds a bit of nuance, maybe softens it.
But you can overuse them, right?
Oh, definitely. That's the key caution. Too many likes or you-knows can get really distracting. So it's about moderation.
So don't avoid them entirely, maybe even sprinkle a few in naturally, but don't lean on them too heavily.
Exactly. Understand they're part of natural speech, but use them consciously. It's another layer of sounding more natural, beyond just words and grammar.
It really shows that fluency is about more than just vocabulary, isn't it? It's these, cultural habits of speaking, too.
Absolutely. It's understanding how the language is actually used in real conversation.
This has been incredibly helpful, so much practical advice. To help everyone listening really start applying this, what's a concrete challenge we can give them right now?
Okay, here's a simple challenge. For the next hour, just 1 hour, consciously try to name things around you in English, silently, in your head.
Just look around. Keyboard, mouse, water bottle.
Exactly. Just focus on that direct object-to-English word connection. No translation allowed.
Got it. Simple start, and maybe something a little more involved if they're feeling ambitious.
Sure. Try extending that to your actions. As you do things, just briefly describe them in simple English in your head.
I'm standing up, I'm drinking coffee, I'm reading.
Perfect. Keep it super simple, present tense. Just narrate your immediate actions.
Great challenges. And we genuinely want to hear how you get on. Tell us what's one thing you described or named in English without translating first. How did it feel? Easy? Hard?
Yeah, share your experience. It helps everyone to hear how others are finding these techniques. Your insights are really valuable.
Definitely. And just a heads up for our next deep dive.
Ooh, yes. We'll be tackling how to learn English vocabulary faster and, crucially, make it stick. Strategies for effective vocab acquisition.
You won't want to miss that one. So for now, get practicing those techniques. Focus on that internal shift.
Remember the goal.
Think in English. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.